Welcome, beautiful souls, to Crystals, Diamonds, and Pearls. My name is Nicole Bozeman. I am the founder and the creator. I am what I like to call a life influencer energy shifter. And I'm the creator of Crystals, Diamonds, and Pearls. This is a special program that I created out of a time of loss and mourning and grief. Was a period of time where I went through some great rejection and great tremendous loss. And I was in a lot of internal pain. And as the process and the pain, as I was going through that experience, what I began to discover about me is that I didn't know who I was. And I kept asking the question, but who am I? Who is Nicole? What does she like? What does she enjoy doing? Who is this individual? I knew Nicole the mom, Nicole the wife, Nicole the sister, Nicole the auntie, Nicole the Gigi, the grandma, Nicole the elder in the church, the overseer of 5 departments, the executive administrator, over one of the leaders' personal ministry. I was a trainer. I'm a teacher. I'm ordained elder. And I'm all these different things. I have all these titles and these labels that were put on me. But I did not know who Nicole was in the essence of my creation. And as I mourned the losses that I had experienced back in 2014, and I mourned the rejection that came because of those losses, I began to hurt and grieve on the inside because I felt so lost and I felt so alone and I felt so confused. And I just did not know what to do, who I was, what did I want to do next in my life, and how I was going to move forward and begin my healing process. I remember one day I had a friend of mine who invited me to go on a trip with her to Florida. And we went, and I took my daughter, and we went on this vacation. And I was sitting out on the beach by myself. And it was the first time I had ever taken a vacation alone. I mean, ever. And I was sitting there and I began to pray. And I was just like, who am I? Like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What am I supposed to do? And I heard very clearly, I heard this statement very clearly. It said, you are crystals, diamonds, and pearls. You are precious. You are priceless. You are valuable. And you are so worthy of being loved. And from that moment, I knew that my assignment or my mission was to remind you all that you too are crystals, diamonds, and pearls. You're precious. You are priceless. You're valuable. You're beyond value. You cannot put a monetary value on how precious you are and how worthy you are. And you are worthy of being loved. And when I received that, when I said yes to that new identity for me, I began to allow myself to go through what I like to call a spiritual healing restoration process. It was internal, was within the depths of my very soul that healing began to take place and wholeness began to occur. And I began to discover me and fall in love with me. And I began to use words and hear words like self-love and self-healing and self-forgiveness. And then I began to hear words like self-sabotage and contamination and infiltration. And I began to allow this. It wasn't a battle, it wasn't a war. It was just my opportunity to allow true, authentic healing and love to come into my heart and to take place and to just rejuvenate me and revitalize me. But what I discover is that oftentimes when we are in these processes and we're in these moments in our lives, and we have them all the time, oftentimes is what happens is that we don't allow full and complete healing and restoration to take place because the place where we're at to try to obtain it is contaminated. The atmosphere and the environment has been contaminated with false lies and with a controlling spirit and with a lying spirit and with a lying and with energy suckers and with people who don't mean well and don't mean right, who are mean, who are altered in their image, who are stealers of your who are identity thieves. And we're going to talk about identity thieves. And these people and this atmosphere, it is so familiar to us that it becomes comfortable for us. And yet it is the very thing that contaminates our purity process. I wanted to create a space where you can feel vulnerable, you can feel safe to come in, because we all are hurting. And many of us, and every one of you all that are going to watch these videos, are tired of hurting. You're tired of the eternal pain. You're tired of the eternal struggles. Your soul cries out night after night after night. What about me? What about me? What about my heart's desires? What about the things that make me happy? What about that is a passion for me? What happens to me? Who am I? Where am I? And so I created during this beautiful month of love, during this month of February, because everybody is into, it's all about love and being in love and giving love and receiving love and candy and intimacy and romance and passion and all these beautiful things that we desire, and we have every right to want to desire and to want to experience and to want to have. But while so many are out here trying to find it through other people, what I want to do today is I'm creating this seminar, this series, because I want you to find self-love first with you. You can't love nobody else if you first cannot love yourself. You will never be able to experience the fullness and the beauty of pure, authentic love until you can first love you. And how do we do that? By giving ourselves permission to be the individuals and the manifested creations that we have been created to be before we ever existed. Do you know that you existed prior to this existence right here? The Bible says in the book of Ezekiel, for those of us those of you who are my Christian scholars or my religious scholars and my Bible readers, there is a text where God is talking to Ezekiel. He is a prophet, and God is calling Ezekiel into his purpose. He's reminding him of who he is and why he is there and the assignment that God has for him. And he has this dialogue with Ezekiel because Ezekiel is just kind of like, oh, who, me? Really? Wait, what? Okay, hold up. And God says to him, I knew you before you were in your mother's womb. He said, I knew you. And do you not understand that when God says he knew you, that means you have had to have existed with him in order to be in relationship with him, in order for him to know you, to know you. I knew you before. If he knew me before, if he knew you before we were in our mother's womb, that means before our parents got together, God knew us. We existed with him in heavenly places. Isn't that beautiful to know, to start off, that you existed prior to your current existence? Which now means when you hear people saying living your best life, it's time to manifest your true identity, it's time to live your life, live to the fullness. Flotus Michelle Obama said it beautifully, it's time to become. Well, who are you becoming? Who are you manifesting into? But the one that was created before you existed. That one that God had intimacy with. It was that you that got all of the desires of your heart and found out and knew then and was implanted with your purpose and your destiny. Your purpose takes you to your destiny. It was that you that I want to help as a life influencer get you back to that person. To allow you to say yes to him or her. To become the you that knew God and that existed with him prior to you being born on your birthday, whichever day that is. For me, mine is October 1st. I'm a Libra. But before I came into existence on October 1st, I had already existed. The problem is that by the time we are born and we go through our lives, we have so many people influencing us and molding us and shaping us and altering who we are and our purpose and destiny. Now watch this. Not according to the original plan that was in us and that was created specifically for us by the Creator, but we become that the person who is doing the molding needs. They create us in their image according to their needs that they have from us. You can give me a title of supervisor. Well, you give me that title because in me you see my ability to oversee and to control a business or a group of individuals as a supervisor, to supervise them, which then will allow a better productivity to take place within the employees. And because of that ability that they saw in me or they see in you, whether it's in a job, whether it's at home, whether it's in church, wherever it is. But what happens is that when they give us those titles, and we probably deserve them. I've worked hard. You've worked hard. You've gone to school. You've done whatever you need to do to train to get to that position and place. But what happens and what occurs is that as we continue to move and grow and expand and become, we do so according to those titles that were labeled and put upon us. If I'm a wife, there's certain things I have to do as a wife. When I become a mom, there's certain things that are expected from me as a mom. When I become a grandmother, there's something certain that is expected from me as a grandmother, as a sister, as an auntie, as a friend, as a husband, as a wife, as a significant other, as a student, as a leader, as somebody that's in a place of authority in the corporate America. We begin to produce out of that title and those needs. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this: we lose our true selves in trying to do for everybody else according to the needs that they have from us. And that's why you can find yourself in your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s asking the question, who am I? That's why you can spend 20 years at a place, in a career, and be miserable and so unhappy and so unfulfilled. And so today, I want to encourage you, and I'm so excited that you're going to join me on this journey. I want to begin to show you how to change and shift your energy and to allow self-love, self-healing, and self-forgiveness to take place today on this beautiful Valentine's Day. No matter where you are in the country, where I'm at, it's cold and it's snowy. But there is an atmosphere and a feeling of love and beauty that is just penetrating this month. More so than usual. I think because of the atmosphere in our society, that you're feeling more people coming together, looking to unite with each other and to try to help one another. These series of sessions, I like to call them your soul glow, love thyself, rejuvenation sessions. I know that's a mouthful, right? Because when we learn to love ourselves first, we will then be able to love everybody else in the beauty of it all. It won't be a strain on us, and it won't drain us. Though many of you are feeling drained, you're feeling lethargic, you're exhausted, you're uncertain, you're walking in doubt and fear. There's a contamination that has taken place in your soul that you don't know how to break from it or to free yourself from it or to cleanse it. And that's what this Soul Glow Love Thyself Rejuvenation session is all about. It's all about getting back to the essence of who you really are. And so we're going to discuss 3 energy things that suck your energy out, that causes your glow, your inner glow to dull, and it takes away the shine and the beauty. And the 3 areas, or the 3 entities that are those stealers and those thieves, are a contaminated soul, your inner bully, and energy vampires. And so we're going to go further. I'm going to go further into each one of these. And I want you to click the next video as we delve into each one. And the first one we're going to talk about is a contaminated soul. Because I want you to understand that when our soul, which is the seat of our emotions, it's where our thoughts, our heart, and our actual emotions rest within us. We are 3 in 1. We are soul, spirit, and body, flesh. That's how we're created. The spirit is the spirit of God, the spirit of the Creator. The soul is you, your essence, your spirit. But when it becomes contaminated, it does so because of past pains, past memories of past pains. Our thoughts get contaminated and we become blind and we can't see beyond our current existence or our current reality. Oftentimes you hear people, can you see yourself in the future? And you like what you see. You got to look ahead. You got to see yourself ahead. And many times, many of us are our mind's eye is blind and we can't see because it's been contaminated and infiltrated with what we currently are seeing. And that in its negativity has overshadowed and overpowered our ability to see anything else positive or any way out or the positive outcome or a different perspective. And so in our thoughts, which is why you don't see yourself wealthy, you don't see yourself abundant, you don't see yourself blessed, you don't see yourself happy, you don't see yourself healed, you don't see yourself whole, free from sickness, just living, laughing, and loving life. You can't see yourself in that place of prosperity because you can only see where you are right now. And so the first session, the contaminated soul, we're going to delve into that and how we can release ourselves and change how our vision. And sometimes when you need to correct your vision, you got to get some glasses or you need contacts. And I want to show you how to correct that vision. Also with the contaminated soul is our heart. So oftentimes we say our heart gets broken and it gets hurt because there's many people who are going to go through breakups or divorces or loss, whether it's through death or some other means where you lose love or you feel like you're not worthy of being loved. And some of you who may be watching this video may be experiencing being bullied. And as an adult, you can be bullied also. Made to feel insignificant and unworthy. And that's not true. Your heart is supposed to have the heart of God, which is love. And so again, it is taking that contaminated heart and is allowing the healing process to take place. It is giving yourself permission to heal and to let go of the memories of past pain. Because the truth of the matter is, it's a memory. And we're going to delve into that some more. And lastly, with a contaminated soul is your emotions. Now, we know 99.9% of the time when we are reacting to a situation or a conversation, we are doing so from a place of our emotions. Do something to make us mad. As women, we are emotional creatures. They tell us all the time, stop crying. You're so emotional. You're so emotional. But that's not a bad thing. They say it as though it's a bad thing, but it's a good thing because emotions are good. What happens, however, is that your emotions will take control over your actions and it will begin to control what you do. And what I'm going to show you as a life influencer and your energy shifter is to show you how to stay in control of your emotions and not allow your emotions to control you. And that's going to be the key. And that's the first thing that we're going to discuss is contaminated soul. And then the next video, we're going to talk about the inner bully. And the inner bully is just that. It's that small, still voice on the inside of you that keeps telling you you're not good enough. You're not skinny enough. You're not thin enough. You're not thick enough. You're not tall enough. You're not short enough. You're not dark enough. You're not light enough. Your hair is long enough. And tells you all these things that you can't do. All the reasons why you cannot become. And every time you embrace the ideology of becoming this new person, this new creature in Christ Jesus, Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are made new. Or you're just learning in spirituality about becoming you and manifesting in your authentic truth and becoming the true you that you were always meant to be and live that authentic life. But our inner bully is mean. You know how when you were growing up, how you always had the one little kid that was just mean, just always pick. Always talk about you, just call you names. You don't even know me. You're talking about me. Like, get to know me. Like, I'm a cool person. Like, why are you hating on me and you don't even know me? Well, we have an inner bully like that. And in that video lesson, I'm going to show you how to identify that inner bully. Now, this lesson is going to be pretty emotional. With each one, I'm going to have you have a notebook and a pen and really get into a quiet space. And then we're going to go through these steps to help you identify who your inner bully is. And then to help you change the tone and the language that this inner bully. So that goes from being your inner bully to being your inner glow, or the inner God, the God in you. And then our final video is going to be called Energy Vampires. Yeah. And I know you hear the word vampire and you're thinking, oh my God, mystical, all that. But here's the deal. There are individuals that are in your life right now who literally suck the life out of you. You see their name pop up on your caller ID and immediately your whole body goes, oh, I really don't want to answer this call. But if I don't, this is what's going to happen. So let me go ahead. Here we go. Hello. Girl, oh my God, I can't believe they did yada, 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 and this, and that, and I can't, and I won't, they can't, they won't. And it's one complaint after the other. And the more you hear it, the more you become drained. That by the time you get off the phone, done texting, FaceTiming, however you communicate, you are literally exhausted and you just want to go to sleep. You don't want to talk to nobody else. You don't want to hear nobody else's voice. You don't want to hear nothing from nobody. You just want to be left alone. And so when we talk about energy vampires, I'm going to identify some energy vampires, some things that are people and situations and circumstances that literally suck the energy out of you. And then I'm going to help walk you through a cleansing where we begin to cut those soul ties and cut that tie from those vampires and release them and release you back to your full and whole self. I want to thank you right now, before I go any further, for being a part of Crystals, Diamonds, and Pearls. Thank you for trusting my testimony to help you. Thank you for the opportunity to allow me to pay it forward to you. And I pray, my prayer is that as you look at each one of these videos, that you will begin to allow self-love, self-healing, and self-forgiveness to take place. And know that I'm with you, I'm here for you, and you are crystals, diamonds, and pearls. You're precious, you're priceless, you're valuable, and you are loved. I love you so much. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please share it. And let's continue on into video number 2, where we go into talking about a contaminated soul. It's the self-love, love thyself rejuvenation session begins now.